Hello, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Low Budget Podcast. I'm Priscilla.
I'm Deanna.
We're here to discuss Season 8, Episode 5 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Anything you want to say at the top, Dee?
Not really, except that I'm just getting more and more disappointed with Nneka as the season goes on. That's all I really have to say about it.
Yeah. I just want to talk really briefly about the clothing line. Did you see my text?
Clothing line?
That Gizelle and Ashley started a clothing line?
No, they did not.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called?
G&A.
G&A? Why?
Like Gizelle and
No,
Ashley.
I know, like, what it stands for, but why? That's stupid.
I don't know why.
Is it just all hot pink clothes with no, like, coverage on your boobs at all?
It was just a really funny, it was just funny thread on Twitter of everybody, like, making jokes about it. Like, what in the dollar store is this? Like,
Is it, like, out already?
I don't know. I just saw pictures of them. It basically looks kind of like...
Serious?
It just looks really basic. It's, like, athleisure, I guess, maybe. It's, like, a hat and, like, a crew neck sweater with, like, a lowercase G-N-A on it. That, like,
Stop.
doesn't
How about
mean
they
anything.
worry about, like, fixing their own clothes, their personal clothes, before doing that? Oh, about the episode, I will say I noticed Ashley's boobs in this episode.
That they were fake.
Yeah, like, they definitely look different to me in this episode.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed the whole season, honestly. Like, it was just in the trailer when she said something about it. I was just like, I don't know.
I just feel like it's like you said, her boobs were always out, so I just didn't really, like, didn't seem that different, but then I realized that they do look much bigger.
Yeah. Okay, well, we might as well jump right in. So the episode opens up with Ashley in that, like, really awful yellow hat with, like, her tendrils hanging out.
What? Yeah. Why do you have your hair, like, full-length hair?
I don't know. I hate that look, like, really bad, though.
Really bad.
And as she did it last season, too, she loves, like, really long front pieces.
Oh, yeah, at the celebration of life party. Was that the one? The chicken one?
Yeah.
Chicken party?
The celebration of life taco party.
Oh, taco party. Chicken party. Yeah, I remember that. It's like, if you're gonna do that, at least get some, like, face framing or something. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, I feel like she's, like, defiant or something. Like, she hears stuff that people really hate, and then she just, like, dives into it more, like, dances more. Everyone's just talking about how bad her and Gizelle dress, so they start a clothing line. Like, it's
a choice.
I feel attacked, personally. So, yeah, basically, Ashley's hosting a trip to Austin. They're all talking about Nneka and Wendy. I just want to say at the top that this drama is extremely boring to me, and I'm disappointed.
I'm honestly just confused at this point. Like, as the more they talk about it, the more confused I get, and I don't really know. I really just would like to see Wendy's family talk about it and then move on.
Yeah, I just feel like there's not really any stakes in this conversation. Like, it's just like, did Wendy, like, spiritually threaten this girl and her family? Or, sorry, did Wendy's mom spiritually threaten this girl and her family or not? And it's just sort of like...
If she did, then what?
Then what? Yeah, that's... Like, usually the stakes are more like someone's husband's cheating, and if they did, then, like, you have to break up with them. I don't know, it's like, you could tell that they kind of expect something to happen, but it's like, what do you guys... They're all acting really invested in this thing that... I mean, I already think it's kind of far-fetched when they act really invested in each other's marriages. Like, I don't think, in reality, people actually care this much. Like, if their friend's husband, like, might have been cheating or something like that.
I know, I feel like it usually is more centered around, like, exposing them. Like, just tell the truth, just tell the truth. And so it's like, with the Wendy thing, though, I just don't get, like...
So if she does, then what? That's where I'm almost like, I wish that she just would, like, just say,
okay,
fine, my mom probably did that, and, like,
oh, well.
Moms are crazy, like, and then what? Then they're gonna have to find something else to talk about, because it just sort of, like...
I know, it's like, Nneka's trying to make it seem like, if this is true, if Wendy's mom did do this, then that means that Wendy has this secret, like, hatred for Nneka, and she needs to, like, admit it, and it's like, Even if Wendy said that she didn't want you to use her name on the show, like, okay, cool.
Okay.
That's the end of the story. You're on the show now, so who cares?
Yeah. I need to, like, set up our recap for, like, I don't care about what we're talking about. It's just, like...
Disclaimer.
We're 5 episodes in, like, I'm just sort of, like...
Oh, yeah, we are 5 episodes in.
You know what I mean? And, like, there's really not any drama except for between Nneka and Wendy and, like, Ashley creating that. Yeah. Definitely just feeling like...
Why?
Everyone's trying to keep their own hands clean. And, like, because that here's the weird thing, too. For a cast that has so much hate, why is there not more actual conflict?
Yeah.
Like...
It's like the conflict that is there is, like, it's too dark for them to even, like,
it's
bring
so
up.
deep that it's just, like, the
They can't
elephant
even talk
in the
about
room. So, like,
And-
no one can even have, like, little light, you didn't invite me to family fun day type conflict. Like... Basically, Gizelle says that the accusation's too big not to be true. Like, she says, like, she 100% believes her. It's just, like...
Okay.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, it's all just, like, okay, like... I want someone to do something to surprise me. I think that's, like, where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Giselle's being a hater, Ashley's being a two-faced flip-flopper, and Mia is bobbling her head, nodding along, yes, man, to everything. Like, that was the whole scene. It was just everybody acting how they always act.
I will say Mia's kind of, like, storyline in this episode is more interesting to me.
Yes, Mia, so. I feel like Mia, this is her, like, if I only had a heart season or something like that. Or, like she's growing a heart, maybe. Maybe it's, like, her Grinch season, you know? Where it seems like all of a sudden... It's funny, too, in the scene later with Gordon, because he was like, well, yeah, that's what I like about you. You care so much about other people. I'm like, we've never really, like, heard this... Never heard her described that way, or, like, have we talked much about it, but, like, let's dive in, like, Saint Mia, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's not really much else to...
Did you say they all believe her, and...
Yeah, Ashley, I just think is, like, I just wish she would stop pretending to be Wendy's friend. I think it's really weird. And she did acknowledge, though, that it was weird that Nneka is saying that she knew all of this stuff before the party at her house. Mm-hmm. And I think that was, like, one point that was really missed last week, that all Wendy should have responded when Nneka started bringing this stuff up is, if this happened prior to Ashley's party, then why didn't you say anything to me about it?
Right
then.
Right.
Why did you pretend to be meeting me for the first time when you're afraid of me and my mom and my family? But also, you acted totally pleasant with me, like, oh, teach them how to say my name, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden the next week you come in extremely hot, like...
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
She's also being hypocritical because basically she's trying to say, like, Wendy's fake for being nice to her when she has this secret issue with her. But it's like, you have this secret issue with Wendy and you're being nice to her too. So, like...
Exactly. And you're presenting your own proof of your issue. Like, you're the one now coming forward and saying, like, well, actually, before I even met her at Ashley's party, like... she was on the other line threatening me and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, so now you're kind of disproving what you said, that you, like, had no idea who she was, basically. Well, I guess she didn't say she didn't know who she was, but, like, you acted extremely fake with her when you first saw her. Like,
yeah,
I expect her to be aggressive. It's like, okay, so when you expect someone to be aggressive and they've done all these egregious things, if they don't immediately act like it, your default is to be completely fake and wait until next week to do it as though you hadn't met her the week. Like, this is where it's just, like, such a disconnect for me, where I just feel like it just seems so much more likely that it happened after Ashley's party, and it's just, like, a really weird thing to lie about.
I feel like it probably happened before, but she was hoping that Wendy was going to come in guns blazing and be like,
and fight with her,
why the fuck are you here? And that was going to be her drama thing, but, like, Wendy obviously wasn't going to do that, so she just came in like normal. So she's like, well, now we have to start this drama, so I'm just going to bring it up. Like,
yeah, because I think that's an interesting thing about the episode is Nneka's also kind of seems like, I don't know, to me it almost seemed like she was trying to walk it back a little bit, like
what?
I'm just really nice to everyone, like, I don't even really, like,
she was like, I'm going to treat you with kindness, and like,
she's just strange. Like, again, I just feel like she can't decide what it is that she's like, what are you doing? Like, what?
Just what?
what's your intention? Like, what do you want to happen?
Just
I'm happy to, like, do it, but, like, let's just do it. Like, I'm tired of, like, inching our way towards you revealing that you have Wendy's phone number in your phone or something. Like,
Nneka,
I don't care.
come
on. Yeah, there was also a Wendy and Eddie lunch scene. Nothing really happened. She basically just said, like, why is this lady calling me a bitch the second time I'm meeting her? And
See, even that too, like their fight that they had or whatever at the pickleball thing, it was so clear. Like, I watched the, like, you know, when, like, the first episode's coming on, so you're, like, on live or whatever. So I was watching last week's episode before I watched this episode, and it was, like, right when they got into it, and I was just, like, watching the escalation was so weird because it was like, oh, are you guys good? And then she's like, oh, you know, I don't even really know who to have a problem. And, like, as she's saying it, Wendy's saying it at the same time. It wasn't like she said it, and then Wendy said it.
No, they literally just said the same thing at the same time.
At the exact same time. And then she's like, okay, well, I literally just said that, so I guess you're just saying it again.
No,
like,
and Nneka made it to a fighting place. You took it
from nothing to something. Like, just right there. Like, and then you kind of were like, oh, calling her a bitch and, like, all this stuff, and it's like, but then you're like, well, I don't know what Wendy's problem is, but, like, I'm gonna be nice to her. It's like, you're not, though. Like, you're like, ready to fight for some reason, like, over something that you brought up. Like, you're causing your own issue. I don't know. It's really weird.
No. Well, it comes up later, too, where she's just like, it's just, like, a shame because, like, keep trying to talk about everything ahead of time. But it's just like, oh, it's just a shame that we just, like, couldn't talk one-on-one and that I had to go, like, you did that.
I was thinking the same thing. I know.
We should decompress it. Like, she did it in a really annoying way. She's like, I'm just so transparent, though, that, like, it just came out.
I'm just such an honest person that
it just came out when we weren't one-on-one.
I just had to bring it up.
Ugh. No. Weird. So, speaking of weird, they're going to, like, a clinic or something, Nneka and Ike, and they're, like, already bickering just walking in the door. She was like, are you trying to delay because I know you didn't want to come? It's just, like, their vibe is so awkward. Really it's actually really weird to me, too, that, like, I know that you guys aren't being filmed 24/7. Like, you had, like, an hour or two of filming today, and, like, in these little snippets of time where you guys are being filmed, you can't like, get along, I think is really alarming.
Yeah, but did you rewatch the last week's episode at all? Like, when Eddie was introducing himself to him?
No.
You could just, like, you can just tell that they're not the kind of people that are, like, good at, like, keeping a game face, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, Eddie went, like, oh, like, hi, Eddie, and Ike was, like, just completely, just, like, was clearly upset, and, like, can't even pretend to, like, be cool about it. It's
you're
like,
an adult.
You need to, like, be cool. Like, Justice wants to be cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just fucking be cool. Neither of them can be cool. And they're both just, like, I don't know. It's weird, and it sucks because I really wanted to like them. I really, really wanted to like them. But they're weird. I don't know. They're just, like, they're weird.
Yeah. It just, I mean, as soon as she came in as Ashley's friend, I kind of was already just like, this isn't...
Well, I never believed those things really anyways, like...
No, I know that they're not really friends, like... but I think that, like, a lot of times, like, that person is going to be, like, when Karen brought in Mia, at least that first season, she's pretty much, like, on Karen's side, you know? Like, and that's what I figured Nneka was probably going to do. With Ashley, but I don't even know. So yeah, they're at this fertility clinic. This whole thing, another weird storyline, because I don't think that 7 months is typically a long enough time for people to even seek out help, which I feel like is what the doctor was basically telling her.
Yeah, even the doctor was like, you don't need to be here.
Like, it's weird. It gives, like, I keep trying not to, like, go too hard on her. I hope I'll change my mind at some point. But it makes her come off very, like, spoiled and entitled.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how she framed it, too, though. Was like, well, I want to get what I want, and I haven't gotten it yet, so that's why I'm here. And it's like, okay.
I'm expecting her to, like, start singing like that girl in Willy Wonka about, like, I want the world. I want the whole world. You know, like, it's just, like... Well, I don't want to have to wait. Like, I want it right now. And it's like, we're talking about a baby. Like, don't be weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
I wrote that she's basically desperate to have a kid because she cares a lot about what other people think. That was the other impression I got. Where she's like, well, Nigerians, you know, they pressure you and get married. And, you know, they just show a clip of someone like, well, your husband's going to leave you if you don't have a baby. It's like, maybe get nicer friends or something. I'm not sure, but
Oh, she said Nigerians are extremely fertile.
yes. Okay, so this is actually, so I'm not that far ahead. This is when she ends up talking at the Wendy thing.
Yeah.
So she feels horrible about the way things came out, and she wishes she could have sat with her one-on-one. She could have. And she's just so transparent that the info just flowed out of her naturally. She's like, I was just really scared because shrines are for death and destruction. She sounds like an idiot. It shocks me that she's a lawyer.
I keep forgetting that she's a lawyer, too.
She's not very good at, like, presenting her case or, like, doing anything that I associate with Laudum.
Yeah, yeah. I've said it so many times, but it's just so weird. I don't really know. And I don't know if it would have been... I mean, it definitely would have been less weird if she had just talked to Wendy normally about it.
1,000,000%.
But it still would have been weird, like, why... Like, it seemed like...
She could have just pulled her aside and been like, hey, I wanted to see if we were cool because my cousin... I wish she would just call her like, my in-law. I hate the phrase my in-law because that's not even like...
Honestly, I feel like she should have waited to, like, reveal this, I think. I think it would have been more shocking and more, like, interesting if, like, I don't know, something else came up, like maybe Wendy had an event and they were there, and then her sister was there, and then she was like...
No, and Nneka's biggest crime is like, that she's just a bad housewife. Like, she's not doing it
She's just, like, you guys, she's just, like, too honest, so she just, like, had to say it.
Things just flow out of her naturally. That's a weird phrase.
Yeah.
She chooses weird words.
Weird.
Yeah, basically, Ike was being weird the entire time about his swimmers and, like, not taking the whole thing seriously. I mean, I don't take it seriously either, but, like, she's your wife, so... and the doctor, basically is like, it hasn't been that long, like, please don't waste my time again. So, Gordon and me are in couples counseling now. I was very confused, honestly, by this scene a little bit, but...
I was confused, too.
I wrote, I'm confused, she's upset, he's working too much. So... Maybe this is just in reference to this story that we're about to tell, but I thought that he was out of work right now. So, like, I don't know if this is a past...
struggling with money.
I thought this was a past problem. I don't know if she's talking about a past problem that he was too into work, like, before he got taken off, or if she's talking about some new job that he's gotten. But they don't have enough money?
I don't know. That's why I was confused, too. She said that she wants him to retire to, like, be home with the kids more, but it's like... I wonder if he was working less when he was, like...
Boss?
Whatever he was.
What is he working doing? Like, when people like this talk about working, I want to know, what do you mean?
I honestly don't know.
For who, and what is he getting paid?
Yeah.
But
then, yeah, it is weird, like, I feel like they started off the season being like, oh, we had to downsize a bunch, and, like, we don't have money. But then you want him to retire? So, I don't know.
Yeah, so, like, it got so bad that Mia talked to a divorce attorney because Gordon wasn't listening. They were arguing a lot. And, she said she didn't want him to miss out on a second chance to be a great father. And I wrote that I never thought about the fact that he probably has older children. You know, because she, like, stole him from someone. Just kidding. I don't use that kind of phrasing, but, I mean... That's what happened, right? He was already married to somebody else. Someone owed them... Yes. Gordon is not an object to be stolen, you guys.
You guys, come on.
Someone owed them money. Okay, so this is like... This is where they took a dark turn, and I didn't even notice until later in the episode that this is the same story, basically, that Robyn went through.
Yeah.
But that an attorney of theirs... was kind of scamming them and, like, not paying them their money, and so they took legal action, and he ended up committing suicide. And this really affected Mia. She felt really guilty, and basically says it's causing, like, a problem between her and Gordon, because she said that he's still going to go full force in business regardless of who it's against, and she feels like that's not the man that she married. So, I don't know, it's really weird. It's like, I know, like, I totally believe that they're having problems and, I don't know, maybe are even divorced by now. The reasoning that they're giving doesn't feel real.
I don't understand Mia's side in all this, to be honest. Like, well, honestly, there's a lot of things that confuse me. One, like, I understand that they're saying, like, the attorney, she was saying that he said that the money was in escrow, but really he just pocketed it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I thought attorneys normally have, like a firm or something that would probably be, like, probably have insurance or some kind of, like, usually they're, like, responsible for that. And, like, I'm sure that she said that he was, like, disbarred and stuff, which is, I'm sure is really humiliating. But, like, she's saying that basically now Gordon still wants to go after the money and, like, continue the legal action that he started, and she doesn't want to. But it's like, I mean, being sensitive, he's already,
the damage is done.
Like, he's already gone.
It can't be undone.
So, like, at this point, it's not like his kids are gonna pay the money. It's, I was gonna say,
if you really, like, want to feel bad, you can get the money and you could give it to his family if you want or whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't think that just, like, letting his firm keep the money would be, like, the more ethical thing to do or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's like, also, just because the guy made that choice doesn't mean that he wasn't in the wrong, or that me and Gordon were not wronged by him. Like, they still are owed that money.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Like, if he told them, like, I'm going to kill myself if you take legal action on me. Yeah. You're thinking of
that's more something to think about.
Yeah, but then it'd be like, that's kind of, like, cruel if you just like, I'm gonna go.
Were you thinking about 90 Day?
No.
Oh, that happened on 90 Day.
Wait, what was that on 90 Day?
So, remember Sumit and Jenny?
No.
Sumit was the one who got in a physical fight with his family, and he was in a fighting stance.
Oh, yeah, in a fighting stance like this. Yeah.
So, his mom said that she would kill herself if he married her.
No, I was thinking of The Office, Michael. I'm gonna kill myself. Oh. Anyways.
Lots of killing yourself.
Serious topic.
Lightly by people throughout pop culture.
But if he had told them, like, I'm gonna kill myself and my kids are gonna be left without a father and blah, blah, if you, like, do this, then I would understand having a pause and be like, okay, let's, like, figure out.
Let's, like, wait.
Yeah, let's maybe, like,
hang on, I don't know what this lady's doing.
He already, like, by the time that like, she says later that by the time that he killed himself, they already found out that he did do what they said he did. They'd already disbarred him. He'd already openly admitted that he'd done that. And, like Robyn points out, it's probably likely that multiple other clients were coming after him too, and that's why.
No, there are very, very few situations where somebody, I feel like we should be using more sensitive language, where somebody dies by suicide, where, like, that could be pointed to as because of somebody else, you know?
Right.
Even that one really awful case where that girl was, like, convincing her boyfriend to commit suicide, like, I'm sorry.
Terrible.
To die by suicide. Absolutely horrible. Well, no. I mean, in that one, that was pretty bad. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was her fault, but she was definitely involved, you know? Like,
definitely was, yeah. It was weird, but he did.
Definitely hardly any other cases are like that. Like, usually somebody's saying, I will hurt myself if you don't do X, Y, Z, actually makes them the bad person. Right.
And it's just like...
So it's still really sad, but, like...
It is horribly sad. And it's horribly sad for his family, but, like...
But I definitely don't feel like that, like, really has
it's not their fault
to do with them.
It's not their fault. And also, like Robyn said, which is, like, rare that I agree with Robyn, but, like Robyn said, it's probably very likely that they weren't the first or last person that he did this to, and that's probably the real reason why he did that. Because if it was just... What was it? It wasn't even, like, $500,000, was it?
I don't know that they said how much it was.
Oh. I thought it was... Unless this is a different thing, but I thought they were saying that they owed them, like, $350K or something. But, anyways, it wasn't, like, an exorbitant amount of money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what he owed them. So, like, I don't think that would have been, like, a completely life-ruining type of thing. No. But that makes me think that he's done that multiple other times and probably has millions and millions of dollars of money that was going to be, like, exposed, basically. So. Yeah. And
I don't know how Mia would have, like, used this, like, for her kind of typical deal of, like, somebody throws shade at her and then she takes some, like, really big thing. It was like, but this would have been a better one than the Sun thing. that would have shut everybody up.
Also, I like how the Sun thing is just, like, it was, like, she tried it and then it didn't. But, I don't know. It's also just weird, like, I feel like Mia does this a lot where she contradicts herself and kind of does like weird stuff. Because like in season 1, especially, or her first season, she was like so adamant about being like how wealthy they were, how successful they were, how much help they had, and all these things. And now it's like, oh, I don't even care about money. I just like care about people. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
She's trying to rewrite her entire image right now.
Yeah, and I don't really know what to think. I'm kind of like...
I don't know. I feel like there were rumors because, okay, she revealed that her and Gordon have some level of an open relationship. Right? I feel like it had more been talked about on, like, him hooking up with other women or something like that while she was, like, in the corner.
Oh.
But I thought that it was mentioned, though, that, like, she could take a lover if, like, Gordon... Or maybe, didn't you see, like, Gordon said that, like, when older men marry... Oh, she was talking about Karen, but it's, like, really, I feel like she's talking about herself, right? When she was, like, when older men marry younger women, like, a lot of times they'll, like, say it's okay for them to do, like, XYZ, like, when they're older and kind of can't do everything anymore. And I always just basically took that to mean that that's what her and Gordon's arrangement kind of is. I would not be shocked at all to find out that, like, she caught feelings for somebody else or something like that, and, like, that has something to do with, like, why they're breaking up. I feel like she's kind of trying to gain some, like, goodwill and, like, image points or something right now, because I think later in the season we're going to find out something unfavorable.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It like, I'm curious to know, like, what she thought this was gonna read like on the episode, because, like, I felt bad, like, that situation, like, sucks, and it's, like, really sad, but, like, I wasn't like, oh, like, Mia's, like, such a, like, stand-up person that she doesn't even care about, like, I didn't, like, feel like that at all. It's just, I was just confused, like, why is she saying that?
Wait, sorry, why was she saying what?
Like, why was she saying that she doesn't care about the money, blah, 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 like, I don't think she gave off, like, the look that she thought she was giving off of, like, oh, I'm just such a caring person that, like...
Well, and that's just way too opposite of how you've always been. Exactly. Now. And it's in a time that it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense. If it was about you were fighting over this money between him and, like, his surviving family or something like that, like, sure. But what you're describing doesn't... It just seems like you're going a little bit far to, like, let people know, like, hey, like, I'm really caring. And, like she told Gordon to, like, say before, like, well, that's what I love about you. Like, I'm the cutthroat one, and, like, you're the one who's, like, always caring about other people. And it's like... This is an interesting narrative that you're trying to spin.
Really
It's never been what you were known for, but okay.
And I feel like that's just, it even speaks...
Her and Juan, you know? They just care too much.
He's just too nice. But I feel like it just speaks to, like, how little she knows about being, like, a kind person. That, like, this is what she thinks being a kind person is. Because it's like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm just not buying it. It just isn't.
Yeah, I agree. So they're all just getting ready and they're going to, like, travel to Texas right now. So... One thing that was funny was Gizelle talking to Grace, asking if the twins try to bring boys over while we're gone, what will you say? And she just kind of, like, shrugs. She's like, it's not my business.
She's like, no, that's not the answer.
I love Grace so much. She's
Wait, how old are the twins?
I think at least, like, 16, right? Maybe. Yeah. It's not her business. She knows it. So... The travel is, like, pretty fast. So, like, now they're in Austin, right? They're divided by earth, wind, and fire signs in their cars. And, like, Candace and Robyn are feeling super awkward about being in the same car. Karen says that now that she's approaching her triple 20, she doesn't sweat the small stuff. And that's when she goes into this whole, like, really weird analogy about Robyn is a pie in the freezer. So Robyn was a whole pie in the freezer. But then she decided to cut her in half and take half of it out. I think when they talked, and then she cut it in half again. Yeah. So they're quarters.
Yeah.
So.
Quarter pie in the fridge or freezer.
And she said, I don't know why she won't come out and tell me the truth, because I know she wants to be friends with me.
She says that she's a $2 pie.
Yeah. So, yeah. Karen, she's just talking about the pie more. She basically just says she's not, like, over it with Robyn yet because she's a liar. So now Wendy, Candace, and Karen are all, like, down by the pool talking. And Wendy's like, yeah, I really don't feel like there's anything more to say with Nneka. Like, I don't know her from a can of paint. Like, I don't really hear enough to keep going over this. Ashley, Gizelle, and Nneka join. And Karen basically says if the group is going to move on, that she needs to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is that Gizelle is, like, really quiet when Candace is around. And Candace says that she thinks Gizelle is ignoring her because she thinks that it will make her disappear. And then Gizelle says something about for the safety of her children, she's not going to talk to Candace anymore.
I know. I read that too, and I was like...
Like, is she trying to claim that somebody threatened her children?
I don't know what she's trying to claim. I just feel like that's Giselle's only defense ever. It's just like, well, for me and my children, this house that I built is for me and my children. Everything has to be my children. Because then it's like, she thinks it's going to make the other person look bad if they, like, contradict her.
It's funny to me how they keep on...
That's where Mia learned that from. She's not good at it.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Bring up the fact
they just keep on showing that clip of Candace saying, "You're white looking ass." Like, that was... Like, I love how, like...
But she was sitting there looking white.
Yes. And just... But I love how using the word white now to some people is like... you know? Like, they're literally acting like... Candace called her the N-word or something. You know?
I know. Of course, they show Ashley. She's, like, so appalled. I'm like, Ashley, just,
like,
you're also white, okay? Just
Ashley, your dad's white. Like, it's fine. Like,
your kids are white. Like, just...
Like, and it's okay. But, like, now... So, did Gizelle somehow think is, like... What? She's like, someone called my daughter white yesterday. You know? It's like, that didn't happen. Like,
but also, it's
I'm not sure what you're claiming, like, has happened to you. Although Candace, like... Her husband has actually been accused of, like, not just cheating, but, like, being some kind of a predator. Like, that affected him and her kids, like, much more than anything you're saying.
As Gizelle points out in this episode, he forced her. He made her go in this room. It's like, okay.
I told her husband made me uncomfortable because he made me go into a room with him and shut the door. Like, the fact that, like, she's still doing this.
She's acting like she shoved her in there and, like, locked the door.
Yes.
It's like...
No, Gizelle did not listen to... a single thing. She has not learned a single thing. She has not listened to a single thing. I rewatched the clip of her telling Robyn about that, like, last year in the first place, and it's just, like, she toned it down a lot, but she was, like, feeling herself that first time that she told that story. Like, he was trying to see if I was with it, and, like, she, like, really thought.
Yeah.
Like, she really thought, and she went hard with it. Like, this man's not half her age.
But then, once that didn't work, once it wasn't, like scandalous, like, ooh, like, he's into Gizelle because nobody was...
I wonder if he's older, Jason or Chris.
Huh?
How old is Chris?
He's older.
He's older than Candace. Okay, I was gonna say because Jason is like Jason is like Candace's age probably. And Candace is probably younger than Jason actually.
Really? I thought he was 30.
He's 37.
Oh, he's 37. I don't know. I think Chris is older though. He has like teenage kids. I guess you don't have to be that old.
They're not teenagers.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Maybe they are now. When the girl was on, she was not a teenager.
Well, there's also a boy. And I think he's older, isn't he?
No.
Priscilla, just go with what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Wait, did you notice what the hotel looked like? Did it remind you of anything? The rooms, specifically.
No.
It really reminded me of Michael's apartment.
Michael... Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, it was just like this, like kind of like navy blue, like bachelor pad kind of vibe. I don't know. Just the decor reminded me of that because his apartment is like really, really dark blue. It has these weird textured walls and like these, I don't know. It's just kind of like.
That's what drew Ashley to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Gizelle kind of just tries to change the subject. She's like, well, I'm in a good place with Karen. And Karen was like, yeah, we've been to hell and back. So if that could happen, isn't there hope for other people? And Gizelle can't say anything to that. And that's a great point. And I'm glad that Karen is, like, singling Gizelle out. Because, Gizelle, you single-handedly have the most people on the cast that you just straight up cannot speak to.
Right.
And you're one of the main people. Like, be a professional.
Seriously.
Do your job. So we already talked about it a little bit, but Mia goes and talks with Robyn alone about this situation that they've both shared, right? There's really nothing to make fun of there. It was just sad, and I feel like It's funny.
I can make fun of Robyn a little bit. Her vibe was kind of weird. Like, she was kind of like it was.
Robyn is weird. No, I think that she's so uncomfortable being like genuine or real, even for a few seconds, that she can't help but smiling when she's talking about somebody's suicide.
Like, I feel like she thought that Mia was gonna be there, gonna be like, "Whoa, haha, that's crazy!" Like, and Mia was like actually upset, and then she was like, she kind of had to reel it in and be like, "Oh, that's awful," you know, like, not everything has to be a jokey like.
I was so confused when she wanted to talk to Robyn. I'm like, Robyn doesn't seem like she knows how to comfort anybody for even a moment, and that really proved it.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, this is weird.
I was like, why are you trying not to laugh?
I know. It's like
even we're like above that. Like, we're like, I'm not gonna make fun of this, and Robyn's like,
people are dying.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. She just seems like really immature and just like.
But I think I don't know. Her whole situation with Juan, and just like the more that I think about it, like since they were like 15 and stuff like that, I just feel like that's exactly how I would expect Juan to react if she tried to talk to him about something serious. Like,
no, Juan wouldn't be laughing though. He would get mad and get annoyed. Like, I don't want to hear about women's troubles.
Well, that's not a women's trouble though. Like, if he tried
if she's saying it, it's a woman's trouble.
If she tried to talk about something serious, like I know somebody that died, I feel like he would just kind of be like,
pick her up and throw her into a pool or something.
Like, yeah, like, I don't know. It's just, I don't think that vulnerability is allowed in her life. Like,
I know every time she talks to him, it's like she tries to act like it's no big deal. Like, oh, I don't know, like. What do you think about it?
No, exactly. You know, like, I think admitting that you have feelings, admitting that you feel hurt and stuff like that is probably all stuff that annoys Juan. And she's very, I mean, even before the trip, she was on the phone with her mom and she was just like, oh, like, all these ladies, like, I don't know, like, what they're gonna do. Like, she talks like him. Like, she talks like a misogynistic dude that finds women and their problems and their feelings. Females and their problems annoying, as though she isn't one. And that, like, pretending that she doesn't have any or that her feelings are never hurt, like, means that she's somehow more evolved as a woman.
I really can't. And, like, I feel like the older I get, the more of an aversion I have to, like, non-girls. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, get with the program, okay? Like, we have enough things working against us. We don't need other women working against us, too. Like, get with it, or, I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's funny because on one hand I wanted to be like, oh, I feel like this showed like Robyn's caring side, but it was weird. Like, she didn't wear it comfortably whatsoever.
No, and I feel like she probably was caught off guard. She didn't know what she was going to say to her, so like I can understand not knowing really what to say, but it was weird that her reaction was almost like start laughing and then had to like stop.
I almost feel like it was like her and Gizelle had talked before and she was like, I'm gonna go talk to Dumbass Me on some vlog and she's gonna say something stupid and I'll bring it back to the group so that we can all laugh about it. And then when she realized it, she was kind of like I'm gonna have to tell Gizelle that like we can't laugh at any of this stuff. And it was almost like she's kind of laughing at the fact that like she couldn't make fun of this girl or something. I don't know, it was really weird. And I do wonder if, well, I am like, does Mia pick up on it? The fact that, like, I just don't think that these people care about you or, like, take you seriously, like, in any way, shape, or form. At the same time, I think that Robyn would act like that.
Is anyone?
She'd very possibly act like that even if Gizelle was telling her something. I think that she just doesn't. Giselle's kind of the same way, where I think that they're both, like, really uncomfortable. Probably being with, like, very emotionally unavailable men, where they're, like, really uncomfortable, like...
showing emotion, hearing emotion,
admitting that they have any, like...
Yeah.
We diagnose them. So Karen won't let this thing with Gizelle go, which I love. Karen, keep doing it. She's like, no, but, like, Gizelle was, like, alarmingly quiet at pickleball, and Gizelle says that the witchcraft stuff was, like, really disturbing to her, and she couldn't talk about it.
But maybe, I'm hoping that Karen will keep up with this, and hopefully it will force them dads to talk about this stuff, because, like we've been talking about, it's just, like, there's too many conflicts that aren't talked about that it's just weird, because then you're just, like, I don't know, it's just, like, all these landmines around.
There's so much that's, like, not even getting resolved, and then it's just, like, I feel like there's just, like, almost weird tension between people, and they know that they're not really talking or warm to certain people. They don't even really know why anymore.
I know, but, another thing to our point about Robyn was that at the pickleball thing, when Karen was like, oh, even Robyn came and we aren't even, like, in the best place, whatever, she's like, why do you always bring up my name? Like, like, I feel like if anything, you might feel a little awkward that she, like, called you out in front of everybody, but, like, she was trying to say something.
She's not allowed to acknowledge that you guys had, like, very obvious tension and that, like, it was her way of being like, so if me and Robyn's like, right. Get my name out your mouth. It's like, I have a point. I'm going somewhere. Why is she saying my name?
I'm like, okay.
Oh my God. So, who doesn't get along with the most people? Because Robyn doesn't get along with now Wendy, Candace, and Karen. So actually Robyn... Well,
she kind of gets along with them. She's, like, fine with Karen, I feel like.
She's fine with Karen, but, like, she's still really overly sensitive.
Gizelle?
About her, like, at least they'll talk. Gizelle, it's really just, I think, Wendy and Candace. It's just very, very strong with them, but...
I feel like they have the same issues with the same people, but that Robyn would be more easily swayed.
Yes, I think if Gizelle wasn't there, Robyn would have no problem talking to either of them, to be honest.
Honestly, I feel like even if Gizelle wasn't around,
especially
if one
Wendy.
of them talked to her, I feel like she would still talk to them. Like, she probably wouldn't be, like, super, like...
She wouldn't be nice, though. It wouldn't go anywhere. It would still just be, like, weird and awkward. I feel like if Gizelle fully wasn't there, like, that night in Mexico or whatever, that they would actually, like, all have fun together.
Yeah.
I think that Robyn is, like, self-conscious to be seen laughing, talking to Wendy.
Yeah.
So Wendy says that Nneka is reporting things that she wasn't even on the phone to hear, which is true, right? Like, this was all her in-law. So me and Robyn join them, and Gizelle says, well, Wendy's mom, like, was on social saying something to Mia. So Wendy reads the whole post.
Mia's like, I forgot about this.
I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. Mia said, I actually took the liberty of finding the post so that I could read it too. Ugly inside out, crater-faced Mia, a bombastic, ignorant, nonsensical, baseless, wannabe CEO troublemaker. You've eaten more than you can chew. You just messaged with a wrong Nija, and then she put 2 flags, mama bear baby. Oh, yes. I think she's saying you, like...
You messed with the
wrong mom. Oh, yes, Mia, you assaulted my baby, Dr. Wendy. She put something in a different language. And then remember, he saw she who fights and run away lives to fight another day. To hell with Mia and Peter. Oh, yes, I say Holy Ghost fire on Mia and Peter and thunderous amen. So... Mia said that she said, well, I did interpret that she was sending me to a Holy Ghost fire.
I was like, what?
Okay, Mia. And Wendy said, like, the conflict is between her sister and Ike's cousin. And Nneka said, no, like, your mom said that it was about me and that it was about me using your name and I was using it for clout, blah, blah, blah. And then, I wrote, Ashley thinks that it's true that she didn't want her to come on the show. I put in parentheses, stop pretending to be Wendy's friend. And she said, just say you wanted to be the only Nigerian. Why do they keep...
I know, why do they keep saying that?
It's super weird. Like, why would she want to be the only Nigerian?
Why? And also they're acting like that's the only reason she would not want her on the show.
There couldn't be any other reason why...
She doesn't like her.
So it's like anytime that like you fight with the GEBs, it's because you're all light skinned and they like want to be the top light skinned of the show. Or
also, it didn't seem. I mean, at least so far, it doesn't seem like Wendy cared that she was on the show. It wasn't like she was like she just doesn't want. She didn't want to be associated with her.
Which I understand. She's kind of weird and annoying, and I wouldn't want to bring her on either.
She's pretty weird.
I'm just so transparent that the truth just flows out of me, like my cycle. That's what it sounds like. I'm sorry, that's what it sounds like. It's weird.
No, I just feel like she just didn't want to be... She didn't want to be her... She didn't want her to be her friend of, like, oh, she's a friend of Wendy's, and she's like, I'm not. I'm friends with her.
Right. So, like, the show is already weird. She's like, I already have to film with enough fake friends. I don't want to, like, pretend to know this girl that I don't know.
And who's, like, really weird.
Yeah.
She's did nothing but weird. Which really sucks because... At the housewarming party, her outfit was so cute. And I was like, oh, she's cool. And then she wasn't.
I hope that, like, one of her new friends turns on her soon and she can see that she picked the wrong side, correct it really quick. Like, she hasn't even asked the Grand Dame to lunch yet. Like, what is she doing?
Well, none of this, they can't betray her until she reveals some of her secrets. So, like, at some point, she's going to say something about her marriage or something to one of them, and then they're gonna spread it around. That's
it's funny because it's like I don't even want to say like I don't like Gizelle being evil to people or whatever, but it would just be so refreshing if she just did it to somebody new. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm bored of her very obviously picking someone to hate for a decade and then just every single season like finding a new angle for like why that is. Like, witchcraft. Like, just stop. Like, well, I talked to Jamal and he said that this is really serious. Like, shut up. Like,
you had to consult Jamal.
Find something interesting to care. Find something interesting to care about. Like, or just admit like I'm mad at Wendy for life for something that she said to me 4 years ago. Just admit that I would respect that more than every season you kind of like finding some new little thing to like pretend. Oh well, it's because her mom said the word witchcraft. So, like I can't talk to her because it's like whatever. Did you hear something about they talked for 52 minutes? That this supposed phone call from Wendy's mom was 52 minutes?
I heard something about minutes, but I don't
know. Who would let
way.
somebody talk to them that long that was threatening them?
I don't know. All of it is weird. She was like...
That to me is one of the most suspicious details of this entire thing, where I'm like, you're not talking to somebody for 52 minutes that's not... To me, that sounds like a friendly call. How could you threaten someone and fight for that long?
I know, like, when did you hang up on them?
It's a really long time, yes. You would think you would definitely hang up with them, unless she was like at some point like, just kidding, like, what's going on with you, girl? And then they caught up. Or that they caught up first, and then this would happen at the end of the call, but it's like the entire, like... There must have been a lot more said if the call was that long. What else was said?
She's saying that the phone call with Wendy's mom was an hour?
That was my understanding. I probably should have rewatched that part, but that was what I thought I heard.
That's pretty weird.
Really weird. So, well, because I guess I should have rewatched this whole scene, right? Because I didn't care enough to do it, but they started talking about all kinds of stuff, right? Dates and... Ashley, so there was a call on the 2nd, the 4th, and the 7th, right? Those are the dates.
The 2nd, the 4th, and the 7th. So, like, I don't know.
She also did say that Wendy later joined in on a call. Did you hear that?
She said she dialed in.
What does that mean? And so, like, when Wendy was arguing at the thing about her saying that she called, yeah, she didn't say that directly, but she did say different things. She once said that it was Wendy's mom, and then one time she said that it was Wendy's sister, and that Wendy was on the other line. And now she's saying that Wendy dialed in. So it's like, were these 3 people on this one call? Is this more than one phone call? How do you know who's on the other line? Was it a 3-way call? I just wrote, this is so dumb, like, literally, who cares? So somebody asked her how old Lebe was, and she said, I don't know, that's my sister's friend. And then they show unseen footage of Wendy announcing what a great Nigerian Lebe is. And it's, like, definitely framed as, like, this really big gotcha moment, just like last season when they heard Wendy saying that. I think it was that she said she lied about, like, believing Mia had cancer or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, there's a difference between lying and, like, calling someone a liar about cancer to their face. Like, you could believe someone's lying about that and not have to tell them.
Right.
This one definitely felt, I guess, a little more like a gotcha. Although, again, this doesn't prove that she knows Nneka. She admitted that her sister and this girl were really good friends. It makes sense, I think, that her sister's friend would be at her kid's christening or whatever. Right?
Honestly, I don't know. I thought it was weird, like, because she was trying to act like she didn't really know who she was. But then she's making this speech about her. So then, I don't really know. Like, I feel like we need more context to why she was saying that for it to make sense. Like, was she involved in, like, coordinating this thing? So she, like, was thanking her? Like, what was happening?
Wendy also released a text message from Lebe to her on Twitter. And it said, Lebe basically said, like, can we get dinner soon? I think she said my in-law. Like, my in-law is moving to Potomac, and she was contacted about the show. Okay. And then Wendy was basically like, oh, like, my schedule's really crazy, but, like, send me some days, and, like, we'll see, or something like that. And that was her way of saying that Nneka did know her and was, like, trying to, like, meet up with her. But again, this was the cousin that said that. Anyway, the last thing that happened in the episode was Candace said in a confessional that, yeah, it was, like, weird that she claimed that she didn't know this person. And then that she was at the christening. Like, a lot of people are saying, I agree. I don't even think her being at the party proves anything. Her giving her a personal shout out is definitely something. But again, I don't feel like Wendy said, I don't know her. She just said, that's my sister's friend. Like,
Yeah.
I guess I don't know her well enough to know how old she is.
But also, again, like, say this is true.
The stakes are so low, though. It's just
the speech happened. What do you're like, if Wendy admits all this stuff, your point is that Wendy knows you and your cousin or your in-law?
I mean, I feel like it's clear that Wendy, to some extent, or definitely a better extent, knows her cousin, or her husband's cousin. I don't think that that's proof at all that she, like, is pretending not to know Nneka, and, like, again, we're talking about, in relation to me, this would be your friends. No, wait.
My friend. If you're Wendy.
Yeah, it would be your friend's cousin's wife.
My friend. No, wait, what?
Right? Like, if I'm Wendy and you're my sister, and you're friends with this girl, Leve.
Oh, yeah.
And she's cousins with this guy, and he's married to this girl.
Yeah. She knows her.
Like, again, this is, like, not a close connection. I believe that Wendy knows her sister's friend. I believe she's heard Nneka's name, and she doesn't know her. And I believe that her mom called and threatened her.
And the Facebook of it all.
And I don't really care.
Like, really all that it shows is that you guys, like, they're putting so much, like, value into knowing them for some reason, which only speaks to, like,
is this an argument? Is this an argument about, like, fame or something? Like, that, like, who's known in Potomac or something? Is that what this is about?
I don't know. It's like, I honestly don't know. They act like if Wendy and Eddie admit, like, okay, I was Facebook friends with Ike, and I do know Nneka, I've met her a couple times, that they're gonna, like, win something. Like, you're gonna get money or, like.
Yeah. That's why I really need Wendy to just, like, I feel like they're, like, in a car race, and I need Wendy to just, like, slam on the brakes, let her pass you, say, okay, I knew who you were, my mom yelled at you, and I don't know how old your cousin is. And, like, those are the facts.
She's like, you know how old she is. You do know. Okay.
You know, I think that the best situation I could hope for at this point is that Nneka and Wendy just, like, sit down together, have a conversation that's not, like, angry about it.
Honestly, I would like to move on.
And agree to move on. Like,
I'd like to move on. The only thing that would make it, like, the only thing that I'd even be remotely interested in is, like, to see Wendy talk about it with her sister, get their side of it, and then, like, move on. Like, I really don't care. Even if all these things are true, I don't care. They're trying to make the shrine thing seem so serious. Like, they're talking about death. Like, you're not gonna die.
Shrines are about death and destruction.
It's just like...
You sound like a cartoon.
Also, when you told Robyn about this, you were, like, all jokey about it. You're not scared. It's not like you're scared for, like, your safety.
No,
like...
you were gossiping. And now you're trying to spin it because you know that, like... I don't know if she thought that it was going to look nonchalant, her bringing this stuff up, but she realized that it, like, wasn't that. And so she's like, I don't even know, like, what the big deal is. Like, I don't even know Wendy. Like...
They don't know what nonchalant is. I'll just say that. Her and her husband both. I'm just like... I don't know. Even if Wendy and Eddie were lying about being friends with them or whatever, like, you guys going this hard about it is, like, really weird.
There's no way they are, though. Like, if they, like, were really...
I don't think they're, like, actually friends.
If they were friends of any kind, you know that these thirsty-ass people would, like, have brought their receipts about that.
But, like, if Eddie was Facebook friends with him and then unfriended him or whatever, like...
That literally means nothing to me. Again, I think it's way more embarrassing to notice somebody unfollowing you than to unfollow someone.
And not only to notice, but to bring it up. Like, you brought it up in front of everyone. Like, when they can see you and your face, and you said to everyone, that we were Facebook friends and he unfriended me.
Like, first of all, why are you as an adult man using Facebook?
Yeah, that's the first of all. Second of all, why are you using Facebook enough to know from one day to the next if someone's following you? And why are you bringing it up in front of everybody? Like, this is so weird.
I know, it's funny to me is like, to have to scroll all the way down to unfollow someone is like, no. To scroll all the way down to check if someone's following you is much weirder.
And the other thing is, like, if you're on Facebook, I think, so, like, if you go on someone's Facebook profile or whatever, I feel like if, like, you could see on their Facebook, oh, they have, like, 1,000 friends or whatever. But it's not like you log in and it's like, oh, today you have 999 friends. And yes, it's like...
No.
You wouldn't know that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I noticed that... I feel like even Nneka and I know that part is embarrassing. First, she told him not to bring it up, and then she did and tried to, like, get people to not talk about it anymore. It's like, no, but she said this. And she didn't bring it up again today, so it's just like...
I just feel like she really thought it was going to be great evidence to support her case that Wendy does know her and told her mom to put a hex on her or whatever. But everyone was like, that was weird. Like,
no. It's also not evidence. Like, unless you took a picture before of the fact that he was your friend, you'd never be able to prove that he was ever your friend. And if you did, another level.
If you took that photo...
Just send in your letter of resignation right now.
You need to leave the country. You need to go into hiding. That is more fun.
No, that's why it's really funny, because it's like, it's not proof. And if you did have that kind of proof, shame.
Don't.
If you did,
you didn't, okay? If you have it, no you don't, because that's fucking weird. Don't do that. Don't screenshot who you're friends with and all these things. And, like, I don't know, when we're even talking about last episode about how weird her screenshot is, or, like, her evidence of the phone call, like, all of it's weird. All these little screenshots you guys have are weird. The fact that you think this is, like, some crazy, like, big case is weird. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to, like, expose them. Like, oh, if you know Eddie and Wendy, well, they'll pretend that they don't know you. It's like, okay. I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I saw Karen on Watch What Happens Live, and not much happened, but one thing that she said was, like, she's like, I think that Wendy should have said I did know her, but I don't know her now. So it's like, well, okay, here's the thing, too. Isn't my understanding that she just moved to Potomac?
Yeah.
From where? California?
I'm not sure from where. But she did live in California at some point.
Okay, and she hasn't lived in Potomac most of this time, so, like, how well could you and Wendy have even known each other?
I mean, Wendy didn't either, right? She hasn't lived in Potomac that long.
Right, so what are the chances that the two of them lived in the same city before this? Like, they probably didn't.
Honestly, either way. The only way that it would be...
Her sister's husband's wife. No, her sister's cousin's husband's wife.
Sister's husband. I feel like...
I want to put... That should be our first merch.
What?
That should be our first merch. It's just like a hoodie that says, it was her sister's cousin's husband's wife.
Friend. And I knew her. No, I don't know. It's just like... The only
it's her sister's friend's cousin's wife. That's what it is, right?
It honestly doesn't matter. We can put all the titles on it that we want. It's so stupid. But, like, I feel like the only way that it would have been weird, or been like, Wendy, that's weird, is if,
my husband's cousin is friends with your sister. I'm pretty sure you know me.
Admit, like, okay. I feel like if, like, Nneka and Wendy, like, lived together, and then Wendy was like, I don't know who you are, like, that'd be pretty weird, but pretty much any other iteration.
And if it was anything that extreme, then she would just say that. And Nneka would be like, literally, remember we went on this trip to the Dominican Republic and, like, show a picture, but you don't have anything like that because it never happened.
Also, if it did happen, I don't care.
Literally, no.
Let me just be clear, like, I don't care.
Again, like, if the worst versions of every part of the story are true, I don't
I do not care. Even if Wendy is actually her husband's cousin, and this whole plot twist is that she is her, like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, and I want to care. I want to be excited about this show. I'm comparing it to last season, and I'm not there yet. You know, I think if we could let this story go, I think if we could really just let Karen take the wheel.
But what are we gonna... Okay, like, what is gonna happen with... Why is Robyn, like, screaming?
Because Karen is still talking to her.
She called her a pie, and then she started crying.
Yeah, because she said that
You're making me this bad piece of pie!
she's a liar, and Robyn said that she didn't get to see any of the messages between Juan and any of these people because his messages deleted or something like that.
Oh my god. No, she said that he kept his phone cleaned out.
Oh, yeah. It's like... as like, one does after a cheating scandal.
Like, I keep my phone, like, my messages, I delete messages that...
like, no longer serve you.
Yeah, or that are threads that are just, like, something stupid, like, someone texts me a one-off thing. But, like, I keep all the threads of people that I talk to all the time, like, wow, I delete those. But, like, you just clean out your phone. For what?
Yeah.
Because you're a nice guy, and...
The nicest. Yeah, Potomac, here are cries. Let's get a show going again. Let's shake things up. On this I pray. Hail
Holy
the
Ghost
Holy Ghost fire. On that note, we'll talk to you guys next week. Later.
Bye.
Pose for the thumbnail.
We're like...
I'm being serious. I'm telling you to pose for it.
Oh, I thought we
have to search
already
for it. Do one more just in case.